بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومولاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless you and your families. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless our gatherings. ويرزقنا وإياكم العلم النافع والعمل الصالح, to increase us in knowledge and make us amongst those who benefit from what they learn. We continue inshallah ta'ala with the stories of the prophets. نواصل إن شاء الله الحديث عن قصص الأنبياء. وقد مر معنا الحديث عن نبي الله تعالى نوح عليه السلام. We covered few things about the story of Nuh عليه السلام. ومر معنا أن الله سبحانه وتعالى أهلك أهل الأرض كلهم استجابة لدعاء نوح عليه السلام. رب لا تذر على الأرض من الكافرين ديارا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered the supplication of Nuh عليه السلام when he says, "Oh Allah, do not leave any of the disbelievers, from the disbelievers, any inhabitant on this earth." فأغرق الله تعالى الأرض ومن عليها. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the flood to drown everyone. وبغرق أهل الأرض لم يبقى من بني آدم إلا من ركبوا مع نوح عليه السلام في السفينة. The only people that remained are those who got on a boat with Nuh عليه السلام. ثم إن الذين ركبوا السفينة مع نوح عليه السلام, and even those who got on the boat with Nuh عليه السلام, not all of them ذكروا أنهم كانوا يتعدون بضعا وثمانين. يعني they were in 80 some individuals. لقوله سبحانه وتعالى وما آمن معه إلا قليل. That with 950 years of da'wah that he spent, if it's translated to an average of one person a year, it should have been at least 950. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that only few had embraced Islam with Nuh alayhi salam. لذلك most of the scholars of tafsir are of the opinion that only about 80 some individuals embraced Islam with Nuh alayhi salam. Is he going to be judged with the number of people that embrace Islam? The answer is no. What is he going to be judged by is going to be the effort, and the effort is made. والشاهد أن الله سبحانه وتعالى جعل نسل نوح عليه السلام هم الباقون على وجه الأرض. That after all of those who got on the boat with Nuh alayhi salam, even then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that only the lineage of Nuh alayhi salam would remain on this earth, meaning the lineage from his three sons, Ham, Sam, and Japheth. Years to pass after Nuh alayhi salam, وذهاب عبادة الإصنام من على وجه الأرض, and then the worship of idols will come to an end as well, and that is the essence of the flood, and that's the supplication that Nuh alayhi salam had. Years to pass, and the lineage, rather from the lineage of the son of Nuh alayhi salam, Sam, comes a tribe that is the tribe of what is known as the Arabs. They will surface, and they are from the line of Sam alayhi salam, one of the sons of Nuh alayhi salam. One of those Arab tribes is called Ad, and they were the inhabitant of Al-Yemen, and they lived in an area called Al-Ahqaf in Al-Yemen, which is between Hadramaut and Oman. To this day, it is still the area where they lived. years after Nuh alayhi salam, comes this tribe that will start the worship of idols again. They will start worshiping the idols. يعني بعد مرور سنين. ولذلك اختلف العلماء في عدد الأجداد ما بين نوح عليه السلام وهود عليه السلام. قوم عاد, these are the tribe is called Ad. Ad Iram, it is also known as Ad, the children of Iram. That's their great grandfather, Iram. That's why Allah Ta'ala made reference to them in Surah Al-Fajr. Irama ذات العماد. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent for him Hud alayhi salam. فسئل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet ﷺ was asked, how many prophets were there or that they were sent to mankind? He says صلى الله عليه وسلم 124,000. This is hadith that was collected by Imam Ibn Hibban in his Sahih on the authority of Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, who would ask the Prophet this question. Ya Rasulullah, how many prophets and messengers were sent to mankind? He says 124,000 of them. And he says, as Abu Dharr would ask him more questions, how many of them were Arabs? He says, 4. Only 4 of them were Arabs. The rest, they're non-Arabs. طيب الأربعة, he says صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم, Hud, Salih, Shu'aib. These are consecutive. And then نبيك يا أبا ذر. And he says, your prophet Abu Dharr, meaning Muhammad صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. He says, and then so these are 4 Arabs. طيب العرب في ذاتهم ينقسمون إلى 3. قالوا, they said that the Arabs, when it comes to their lineage, they are 3 different types. ما تسمى بالعرب البائدة. The Arabs that were completely deleted from the surface of this earth. Completely. العرب هذه البائدة, they were destroyed and gone. وهي قبيلة عاد وثمود. These are the two tribes, main tribes, because Nuh is an Arab, Hud is an Arab, sent to his tribe Ad. Salih is an Arab, sent to his tribe Thamud. Both of them, those tribes were destroyed. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala نجى هودا وقومه أي المؤمنون منهم ونجى صالحا والمؤمنون منهم. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed, literally annihilated with the tribe of Ad and the tribe of Thamud, but he saved Hud alayhi salam with the believers, and he saved Salih with the believers. طيب هذه العرب البائدة, this is the category of Arabs that were completely annihilated. They were deleted from the Arabs. وهناك العرب العاربة. العرب العاربة التي هي قحطانيون وغيرهم من العرب. These are the Arabs that they go back to the same lineage of Sam, the son of Nuh alayhi salam. But these, they will remain, they will continue. And of course they will spread out throughout the whole area, but especially in the Yemen, Sham area, and the Arabian Peninsula. طيب. The القحطانيون, they will be the ones to roam the Yemen area. النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عربي, and the Prophet صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم, it comes from the lineage of العرب المستعربة. العرب المستعربة هم من ليسوا بعرب في أصل لكنهم تعربوا أي تعلموا اللغة العربية فأصبحوا عربا بعربيتهم. These are the people who were originally not Arabs, but they learned Arabic. So they became Arabs due to picking up the language. This is exactly what happened to our father Ismail alayhi salam. Because Ismail alayhi salam is the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam is not an Arab. طيب. But when Ismail alayhi salam was left by Ibrahim alayhi salam in بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم in Mecca, there were some Arab tribes that were, of course, nomads. And they used to travel chasing after wherever the water is. And then they came to find a woman with a nursing baby and a water gushing all over the place. Ma' Zamzam. So they said, can we settle by you? She says, you can, but the water is mine. They said, by all means. It is yours, but we just want to benefit from the water and give you company. And that's how they settled in the area. But otherwise, they're Arabs, but they're nomads. They travel from area. يتطلبون الماء والعيش هذا للإبل. They used to travel from place to place, and that's how they end up in the Arabian Peninsula, and they end up in the valley of Mecca, subhanallah. فتعلم منهم إسماعيل عليه السلام بل وتزوج منهم كذلك. And Ismail عليه السلام learned the language from them. خاصة هما قبيلة ما تسمى بقبيلة جرهم. Jurhum is one of those Arab tribes as well, where Ismail عليه السلام learned. ومن أبناء إسماعيل عليه السلام عدنان. One of the children of Ismail عليه السلام, one of his children is called Adnan. His name is Adnan. فلذلك وعدنان هو جد النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. طيب. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم lineage go back to Ismail عليه السلام through his son Adnan. This is why the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, one of the nicknames given to him is النبي العربي القرشي العدناني. When you hear that he is Adnan, his lineage connects with Adnan, you track it back to the son of Ismail عليه السلام. فهو عرب مستعربة. This is very important to know all of these breakdowns when it comes to how the Prophet ﷺ is connected to Ismail عليه السلام. And Ismail عليه السلام originally was not an Arab, but he learned Arabic. فلذلك يقولون أن العرب ليسوا عرقا وإنما هم لغة. من تعلم اللغة العربية فهو عربي. This is why they say being an Arab is not a race. An Arab is not a race, but rather anybody who learns Arabic is an Arab. So meaning the language is what gives a person quality of being an Arab or non-Arab in that regard. الشاهد من هذا على خلاف بين العلماء في هذا الباب. Hud alayhi salam came to his people for the same purpose that Nuh alayhi salam came to his people, and that is to call them to the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone and leaving the worship of idols. فكان جوابهم مثل جواب قوم نوح لنوح. The exact same thing. That all the communities, whenever their prophets come to them with the same message, and that is to worship Allah alone and leave any other entities other than Allah for worship, they start calling them, they're liars, they're insane, Majnoon, all kind of names. Either they will discredit the actual Rasul, prophet, by slapping any defamation on the actual prophet, or they will discredit the messaging of itself, that this message makes no sense. So attack is either on the message or the messenger. Either way, that was the reaction of all the communities whenever the prophets came to them. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أرسل هود عليه السلام ودعاهم بالتي هي أحسن. فقالوا أن ليس هناك نبي. There was no prophet between نوح عليه السلام and Hud. بدليل أن الله سبحانه وتعالى ذكر هودا في 7 مواضع من كتابه. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned Hud عليه السلام 7 times in the Quran. And 4 out of those 7 times, Allah ta'ala will mention Hud عليه السلام immediately after Nuh عليه السلام. واذكروا إذ كنتم إذ جعلكم خلفاء من بعد نوح وزادكم في الخلق بسطة كما ذكر الله سبحانه وتعالى في سورة الأعراف. And he mentioned Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would mention Hud alayhi salam immediately after Nuh alayhi salam, which indicates that there was no prophet in between Nuh and Hud alayhi salam. طيب. Ad will continue to defy the Prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as it is the case, whenever there is a defiance, the prophets will not stop. They will continue. Why? أن الله سبحانه وتعالى جعل لمن كان به قوة. قال من كان بالله كان قويا بالله. That is why everyone who seeks protection and hold on tight to the rope of Allah, that's what gives a person strength and consistency. It is holding on to the rope of Allah. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. The minute you leave that rope, you weaken. And that's it. Your strength dissipates and it goes away. فلذلك, this is why those who are usually on falsehood brings nothing but weakness. And it brings nothing but confusion, fear, name them. The opposite is true for somebody who is holding on to the truth. This is why Hud alayhi salam stood to his people and they said, إِن نَقُولُ إِلَّا اعْتَرَاكَ بَعْضُ آلِهَتِنَا بِسُوءٍ. We honestly think that our gods had driven you crazy. You're not good in the head. Something wrong with you. And he says, إِنِّي أُشْهِدُ اللَّهَ وَأُشْهِدُ. He says, I bear witness and be my witness that the only one that I fear is Allah, Rabbi wa Rabbukum. ما من دابة إلا هو آخذ بناصيتها إن ربي على صراط مستقيم. Allah, he says, this is Hud alayhi salam standing firm, and his tone is strong from the strength of the truth that he's holding on to. And he says, I bear witness and be also my witness. Call upon all of your gods. I fear none of them, neither do I fear you. I only fear Allah. There is not a creation of His on this earth that moves except that He is in charge of it. And He gave a the beautiful expression that says, when you hold on to something by its forelock, you're literally guided the way you want. In other words, if you are in the steering wheel of a car, nobody has control over that car except you. In other words, فالله سبحانه وتعالى آخذ بناصيات كل ما خلق. Allah Ta'ala is the one in charge of all what He created. And He says, فَكِيدُونِ. Go ahead. Plot and do whatever it is that you need to do, because I am holding on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَتْرُكُكُمْ هُنَا inshallah ta'ala, and I'll leave it right here. I know that most of you had a long week. Inshallah, we continue with the story of inshallah ta'ala Hud alayhi salam tomorrow. بإذن الله تعالى. جزاك الله خير.